So welcome to District 4, to the point for information and news. I am your host, A-Love. You're going to hear a little bit of chatter, a little bit of noise in the background because we are on verdict watch for the Diddy trial now. I am looking at it via satellite because I'm not in New York, so I'm not able to get like live footage of the door, which is what a lot of people are doing. But what I thought I'd come on here and do, since we're towards the end and we're waiting for the verdict, is sort of read some of the incoming comments that are like happening in real time, and then if there's questions, answer some of the questions. We talked about this trial throughout, and I did cover a lot of it, and I did a lot of wrap-ups and things that were happening on the weekend. But what I do, a lot of people ask about why did I feel the defense did not call any witnesses. And it goes back into what I've been saying all along, is the reality is they don't have to. They literally can use the prosecution's witnesses and the information from the prosecution's witnesses in their favor. There was no need to call witnesses, and they definitely made a smart move, sorry about that, by not putting Diddy on the stand. Now, I thought he could be on the stand, but again, even in my desire to see what would happen if he was on the stand, I even mentioned that there could have been those moments where he could have got trapped by the prosecution and maybe said some stuff he shouldn't have said. So having said that, I wasn't surprised that it took them 30 minutes, I think, approximately, to wrap up and give their the meaning defense, their closing arguments, and that the prosecution needed to do more. And I don't know if they were able to get all of that through to the jurors. Now, during the deliberation, the first part of the deliberation is that the judge will give, I'm trying to say the judge will give direction to the jurors in the form of, this is what you need to be following, this is what you need to be looking for. So I think that will help the prosecution because it'll keep the jurors on track with what they're supposed to, what Diddy was actually accused of, what they're supposed to be, getting a judgment on. But I also feel like the defense made a good impact when they said, that they kind of didn't have a case. That they had a case, but it was not for, maybe the charges meaning the Diddy, the defendant would have been brought to court for. And that's really what this boils down to. It's whether or not the jurors believed, not so much that meaning Diddy did these things or he was a bad guy or all of these things that were portrayed in the case, even that he was an abuser. But they have to apply this information only as it applies to the charges. I've said that multiple times. So that, in a way, gives a step forward for the defense that they would not have in a normal case, especially with a RICO charge being such a difficult charge to disprove, for lack of a better term. Okay, so I feel like at the end, we all know it ends up in the jurors' hands. It doesn't matter how we feel about it. It doesn't matter what we say about it. It only matters what happens when they go in that room and they decide for themselves. And that's all we can do. You can do the best you can, and then the jurors will call it. So that's what that is. All right, so let's look at some of the comments that are being made. People are just asking questions. This is in real time, so it might take me a minute to find something there's quite a few people in here. So we got 1.2K, all right? I have to kind of scroll through and see if I see anybody with a question or anything. So someone refers this to the Mustang Ranch. For those of you that don't know, the Mustang Ranch, they're asking, is it like that? The Mustang Ranch is not. It is legal because it's in Nevada. And in Nevada, prostitution is legal. Prostitution is not legal in New York, which is where the case is. Okay, so you can't really say that it's correct or he's not being, that it's incorrect charge Diddy with prostitution or racketeering in the sense, because of the Bunny Ranch. It doesn't even go together. There's two different states under two different laws, and one of them has prostitution as illegal. Okay, but it would apply somewhat if it was across state lines. So in a sense, if they took them out of Nevada, say, for example, if they were in Nevada, and they took them to New York, and it was for under the same pretenses with which he's charged, he meaning Puffy, then you could say that that was comparable. But in the phrase that you're putting it in the text that you're putting it in, no, you cannot. So Chris said free Diddy. I called you out by name because you said free Diddy, so you want to. Victoria says he's guilty. You got some free Diddies. I think people thought, oh, it's lock solid, he's down. But look at it. This is in New York, so this is live time. And a lot of these people are not all saying that they think Diddy is guilty of what he's charged. Ann Bell says save future victims from keep him in jail. Okay. We have some more free Diddies, some more not guilties. You'll see me looking down. I'm sorry. I usually look up. Let me try to put it over here so maybe I can still look at you guys a little bit. So somebody said that he was selling fentanyl. That was not proven in the case. So, is that a question? Like, was he? The answer is we don't know, but they didn't mention anything of specific drugs other than maybe some cocaine or something. I can't say what it is, but maybe some CC. So someone says consensual means what? Payment for sex is still a crime, and that's true, but not what he's accused of. It's trafficking. You have to understand RICO is that's why a lot of people don't understand what's being applied, what to apply to this actual charges and case that is at hand. Yes, he meaning Diddy is guilty of a lot of things. Some of them are illegal, but not what he's brought to court for. And I think we're going to get a lot of that repetitively, to be honest. Because a lot of people are applying maybe what they feel emotionally towards the case and how they feel he should be locked under the jail to the case. But, for those of you that are free Diddy people, there's a lot of room there for question. And if you have questions, you can't get a full conviction. And there's still the opportunity for a hung jury. We cannot forget that. There's that possibility is still there. We can't discredit that. We can't say it's either one or the other. Sometimes it's just hung. So there's, technically speaking, if we were going by just the comments, you would have a hung jury. Because you have a bunch of people, saying, yeah, he's innocent, let him go. And a bunch of people saying he's guilty. To have a hung jury, once again, you only need a few. You don't need all 12. You can have one holdout. You can have two holdout. And that's going to be considered a hung jury. What else we got? Let's see if we have something interesting. Somebody named Rosa said, P expletive, right, is not illegal if you watch it in your own home with a spouse and you can watch it, with you. So in a sense, you don't force any sex acts on videos on someone that is willing to be a part of it. So she's comparing this to like watching, adult entertainment with each other at home. And she's saying that you basically can't say that is what ended up being sex trafficking and a bunch of charges. There's a level of willingness there if it's in your home, and I think she's saying that's why he's not guilty. Are you saying that he's not guilty? Or are you saying they let him go? Okay. Um, Jail for Diddy. Someone said he's on his way, or they think he is. They said they didn't care. Free Diddy. So Tracy said the gold digger was told to leave. Okay. I'm not sure which witness he's referring to. It said, but they didn't. They stayed. They stayed for money and fame. So, I mean, you guys are all, everybody's going in. They're scrolling. Does anybody have a question? I'm looking in two places. You'll see me looking over here. This is going to be taped, so you'll probably see it after the fact. But wanted to make sure I got that in. Looking at the portal, which is larger than usual. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for those of you that became, I have to give you guys a name. I call you Portal because that's how you get in here, but I really need to give a name to the people. I know that a lot of people start naming their group of people, friends at this point, good supporters at this point. I hate the word fans because it sounds ridiculous. I'm a YouTuber, but we'll think of something. I've gotten some suggestions from you guys, but you guys give me some more. Throw some more stuff at me. And someone said they liked my video on what happens if he gets convicted, because she thinks he will. He thinks he will. I'm sorry. He will. His name is Mike. I won't say your last name. You guys don't have to use your real names. I appreciate it, though. Some of you are having conversations with each other. If you put one word in there, I can't read that. I mean, I can read it, but I need to know the context with which it's being said. So you'll hear us. It's a little bit of a... It's literally just shots of the door. You can't go inside unless you have, an ability to go in there. But for those people that are standing outside are really waiting for reactions, and we can't get that until we have a verdict. So there's no. Someone's actually praying. So Michael said, not Michael. Jasmine said, "Dear Heavenly Father, God, please find Sean Diddy Combs guilty on all accounts. Please, thank you, amen." That's pretty serious. Why would you feel that passionate? Because of the abuse. Yeah. That's enough to make you upset. That alone is enough to make you upset, but not enough to convict necessarily. It might be. But it is enough alone to make you upset, just to see that was part of the whole, what I call the game. That's part of the whole game, was just them keeping control by being abusive. If in fact that was true, it is true because we saw a video of it, so you can't really deny the fact that he was abusive. Okay. Got some more free Diddies. Lock him under the jail. He's in federal prison. For those of you that don't remember, I did do a video on that actual prison that he and R. Kelly, he meaning Sean Combs and R. Kelly, are in. And it is infamous for its conditions, less than humanizing conditions, meaning the food was sued for having maggots in it. There's the dilapidated state of the penitentiary, and the care and or lack of care by the staff. It's not a good place, in other words, to be. I mean, for those of you that don't care what prisoners go through, I mean, it's not a place to be in jail at. So, what else we got? So I won't cover this too much. I just wanted to go in real time and talk a little bit about what's happening, and We're standing outside the federal, many people are standing outside the federal court in Manhattan, New York, Building 500, waiting for the verdict, because that's where we are in this trial right now. So, end of trial. We're now at the verdict stage. So, we don't know. I think just that looking at it now, it's really mixed. I'm looking at the group of people that are in real time talking, and they're talking not like we would have thought if you had a strong prosecution, a strong case for prosecution, which is the normal RICO trial, right? If you had the normal RICO trial, you really have a strong thing that says that case was proven. You know, it's beyond a shadow of a doubt he's guilty, and we're just not seeing that. We've got people saying things like it's a fake case. Somebody said give him life without parole. I mean, and these are all sort of back-to-back comments. So that's kind of how everybody's feeling pre-trial. Now come back and we'll see what they say after the verdict. But for right now, everybody's waiting for the verdict, and I wanted to get that in. I wanted to see how people were feeling, and as we wait, really to see what happens at the end. Right? Thank you so much. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And for those of you, I'll see you next time.